Hey YouTube, welcome to my shop. I'm Mike Hedden. You know, I've got a couple of projects going on right now in my shop for that I'm making for Christmas presents. One is a condiment bench that I got the idea from Jay Bates over there at Custom Creations, and another one was a little nail game that I got from a guy named Austin Denherder over there on YouTube too. So you know, they've got complete videos on how to make this, everything to do with it. So I don't want to steal any of their thunder, but I thought I would just show you what I did, a real quick view of what I did to get it together, how it came out, what I changed, the problems I had with these things. But I think they're both really good ideas, and for Christmas gifts, I hope people like it. So let me show you what I did, and I'll come back and show you the completed project. Well, here's everything that's been ripped and cut to length with the appropriate angle, 15 degrees, on the ends that require it. Now, the way I've done this is, see if I can get this in picture. As was stated, this is Jay Bates, Custom Creation Design. This little bench, you know, it taught me SketchUp. And the way it did it was, you know, Jay would get out there and he'd, okay, we're going to start this bench, you know. R for rectangle, we'll go 1.5 inch by 7.25 inch, enter, space bar, push pull, P for push pull, 0.5 inches, enter. And you know, every time he did that, I'd look about 4 times and then I'd go onto my own SketchUp and follow his lead. Now, the way I've done this, I've labeled every piece. You know, you can see A, B, C, D. The back is E. The supports are F, and the seat slats are G. And that's what I've done on everything there. You can see the A's are on the right, left-hand side. Then B's, C's, D's, E's. Behind the gripper is the F's, and over on the workbench are the seat slats, G's. Now I'm making 4 of these, 3 to kind of give away, 1 for backup, you know, as a secondary gift. So, you know, I had to figure out, you know, by doing each piece, how many feet. So I ripped 110 feet. There in the middle is the stuff that I had left over. Now I just used any 2x that I had. I know that one was a 2x8, which was, I think, 6 foot long. I had a 2x4 that was 8 foot long. I had a 2x10, I think, that was 5 foot long. But I should have kind of kept it. I just used scraps, so I didn't really keep track of it. I know that there's 110 foot of 1.5 inch by 1/2 inch, and that's what I've used. And the stuff in the middle is leftovers, and then those are basically the drops. So since I'm making 4, each thing has like 8, except for the seat slats. There is, I believe, 9 on each one. So 9 times 4. And they're piled over there ready. So now it's just starting to put it together. We have an A. I don't want to use the one that tells me that it's an A. We have an A. We have a B. we have a C. We have a D. We're going to have an E. This will go on the other side. And then the F will be the support across the back. So I'm going to turn my compressor on because I'm going to not only glue this, I'm going to use real little pin nails. And we'll start from there. All right, my compressor's all charged. I've got my pin nailer out. It's I believe 3/4 inch, might be 5/8, 3/4 or 5/8. Got my wood set up ready. I've got a couple of straight edges. I've got the 15-degree bevel. When I glue, I like to have some water. It's over on my workbench. I don't let water come near my table saw. So let's get going.
What, my love, you are to me.
Well, there they are, the made benches, condiment benches, 4 of them. Now all I have to do is the worst part, sand, which is not my forte with bad hands. But one thing I did do is, I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but there's a place, I believe they're in the Carolinas. I believe they're the Northerners, but Kingspor is their name. Kingspor, I believe, Kingspor, not sport. But they sell this sandpaper. I believe this was $19. Now I ordered the medium fine, but there's a lot of sandpaper in there. You know, well worth the 19 bucks. I'm going to make one of those sandpaper cutters that you can see on YouTube that, you know, for a 1/3 or a half sheet sander. And I'll be able to stretch that out quite a bit. So anyway, next job is my least favorite, sanding. But
You know, I've got everything ready, my ear protection, dust mask. Now, my gloves, I had to buy a special pair of gloves with a gel in them, and then I cut a little white figure out there inside the glove, and then I even used the foam to grab the sander. That gives me about 10 minutes time. And really, if I do 10 minutes early in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, I can live with that anymore. And boy, I pay for it. My hands start buzzing like I stuck them in a wall socket. So anyway, there's what I call the monster. Kind of looks like a monster. I think it's going to rain outside, so it's kind of sitting. Normally it just sits out of the garage until I need to hook it up to something.
the finished project, the Jay Bates creation project. Now I did a few things a little different. He had, mustard and ketchup, salt and pepper, but I'm a big barbecue guy, so I put in some barbecue sauce or mayonnaise or whatever, and then of course, what's a hot dog or kraut dog without Tabasco sauce? So that had to go in there. Also, the napkins here, I made this little red oak device. It just sits there, goes through and holds in case the wind comes up. I put a little 3/16 inch dowel to give it a little more support. It's not very strong, but I don't think it really has to be very strong. The plans that Jay Bay gives on his SketchUp and stuff is really good. I found that as I was joining these joints here with the glue, that it was very slippery. So I found a way that I kept from having to undo it and re-nail it before, to keep it from slipping. It's a crazy way, but it worked. This is how I did it. One thing about gluing these small parts together for this condiment bench, when you put glue down, it's basically the same thing as putting in a quart of oil. If it's just very slippery and every time you bring the nail gun up, boom, and you got to take it apart. So what after about 4 times of nailing it wrong, I said, how can I stop this? So I went out in the garden and I got some very fine sand. Now I know you're thinking I'm crazy here, but I sprinkle this sand right there, just a little, very fine grain, and then I put it on there, and then I push it down. Now, when I put the gun on, it doesn't slide a bit, and actually, it holds it quite well. So, it worked for me. Now, as I say, it's very fine, and when you push it down, you want to feel it push into the grain. And I was wondering, well, is this a solid? Am I making this a weaker link? Am I compromising the joint? But I glued some together and popped it apart. And geez, it was just as good, if not just a little stronger, But as I say, use very fine grain, and when you push it down there, it'll stay in place as you nail it. And you'll never, you'll see the benches, so you'll never know, that I use sand. Might be crazy, but it seems to work. So my other project is from Austin Denherder's channel. It's a nail game, and what there is there's 10 nails around here that are drilled in, and then 1 nail in the middle that's a little higher, and the object is to balance all 10 of those nails on the middle nail. So I thought that was kind of clever, and I had some scrap. I've got some bloodwood. This is bloodwood and a yellow heart, and then I made another one out of some purple heart. But I hope that'll be a nice little gift for somebody too. I wonder if they'll be able to figure it out. If you want to know how, you probably have to go over to Austin Denherder, wait till I get some nails, and see if I can make it work. Anyway. That's it for this project. I've got a couple of more projects that I got underway, or I'm going to get started underway here soon. Christmas is coming up, so sometimes things get a little busy in that season. Sometimes they don't when you're retired, so we'll see. So Anyway, YouTube, I thank you very much for stopping by. I wish you a very good day, and take care until next time.